All right, Shalom. First off, give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Bashem Yashai Bashem Karkadash, the Barnes, the Apostles, and elders of the GMS. Salutes and honors to the elect, all the brothers across the four corners who are learning in truth and sincerity, the women, the children, and confusion of faith who follow. So, this weekend, the head brother of our camp here in Nebraska, Rai Bamoff, he brought out this word, cultivate, and we had a really fruitful conversation, and I just wanted to bring some of what I've learned uh, from that conversation and things that I've taken from that conversation, and feed the flock with it. So Lord's will, this is a edifying video. So let's go to this word cultivate. It says by 1650s of the land to till or prepare for crops, to raise or produce by tillage, from medieval Latin cultivatus, from past participle of cultivare to cultivate. Okay, from late Latin cultivis, tilled, from Latin cultus, to care or to labor, or cultivation, from past participle colliere, to cultivate, to till, to inhabit. And this is really where it gets into it. Okay, it says to till or to inhabit, to frequent, to practice, to respect, all right, to tend, to guard. Okay, that's really what it's about. All right, when you think about tilling the land or growing crops, maybe flowers, maybe you got a garden, you have to cultivate that land. You have to till it, you have to work, okay? And you can't just do it sporadically. It takes labor frequently, practicing, okay? You have to tend to it. You have to have a certain respect for it. If you have a tree, or let's not even go with a tree. Let's say you're you're planting a garden and you want your flowers to bloom. You got to do what? You got to dig up that earth, or you got to plant your seeds. You got to make sure that it's getting proper sunlight. You got to make sure it's getting proper water. All right, picking out all the weeds, making sure that the critters, the rabbits and the squirrels aren't getting into it. All right, picking up your seeds, messing up your garden. All right, it takes work, it takes labor, and that's the same way how it is in this truth and how you should be in your life. Man, everything takes work. Nothing is given to you. Nothing comes for free. All right, everything has a price, whether it's time, whether it's money, labor. Okay, everything has a price. So, what are you willing to do to get what you want? All right, what is the outcome that we want here in this truth? We want salvation. So in order to get that salvation, you're going to have to cultivate um, a game plan within your life that's going to allow you to grow. You're going to have to frequently, you're going to have to frequent this work. You're going to have to practice to get better at this work. Or you're going to have to tend to the ministry, be a guardian to the ministry. All of that, all of this is relevant within the truth. All right, and relevant within your life as well. Because if you want to be successful, you have to do what? You have to practice. You have to get better. All right, you have to hone your craft. So, this word cultivate is very powerful. All right, I want to get this in 2 Timothy chapter 2 and 15. It says, "Study to show thyself approved unto the Most High, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth." All right, this word workman, all right, you got to go to work. You have to labor. You have to, nobody comes in, Albert Einstein in the truth, Apostle Tahar, or, Apostle Aramlab or any other, the great men in this truth. We all come in relatively, depending on how you were brought up or whatnot, but relatively low, and then you build from there. Wherever you come in, we didn't come in at the top. That's basically what I'm saying. and then you grow and you build from there. But without work, you're not gonna grow. So let's get this word workman. Bear with me, this computer, boy, I tell you, it's time to work on a new computer. Man, we're gonna have to come back to it. I'm not gonna just sit here. Let me see. Let's go to the next precept. This is Matthew chapter 4. I'm gonna start at verse 18. It says, "And Yahushua, walking by the Sea of Galilee, saw two brethren, Simon called Peter, and Andrew his brother, casting a net into the sea, for they were fishers. And he said unto them, Follow me, and I will make you fishers of men." Okay, so in order for you to fish, what's the goal? For you to catch fish. Okay, so that you can sell them, so that you can have food for your family to eat, or you have to go to work. If you don't ever cast that net, if you don't throw that reel in, that line in the water, you're not gonna get fish. You're not gonna eat. You're not gonna have anything to sell. Same in its truth. Who are the fish? All right, the fish are the people. That's why we make these videos. That's why we go on the highways to fish the people in. Okay, it says in Jeremiah 16:16, it says, "I shall call for many fishers, and they shall fish them, and then I will call for many hunters, and they shall hunt them." All right, but in order for you to be a fisher, you have to actually fish. You have to do your due diligence, okay? Do your studies in order to get the people to come in. How? By knowing the scriptures. You're going out there, you're making your body a living sacrifice, doing the work. There goes the word again, doing the work, okay? You've cultivated a a way of life. Because at the end of the day, that's what you have to do. All right, this isn't just like some hobby or anything. You have to cultivate a way of life. You have to have a certain set of practices that you go through in your daily life, actions that you go through in your daily life that's going to cultivate, that's going to make that environment that you want a good environment to grow. So and if you don't do that, if you're not, cultivating, well, not I'm not even gonna say not cultivating, because you can definitely cultivate this as well. But I want to just get this word autopilot, okay? And the slang of it says autopilot is a system that controls the course of an airplane or ship. The slang meaning of autopilot is out of habit. Habit says, as when a sleep deprived worker goes through his whole day on autopilot. All right, going down to the psychology of it, it says in mindfulness based cognitive theory, Crane explains that the term autopilot describes a state of mind in which one acts without conscious intention or awareness of present moment sensory perception. The defining feature of being in and on being in auto, and on being on autopilot is that your awareness of the present moment is clouded. So you're just going through the motions. All right, you're not even invested. Uh, 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 you know, opposed to actually being invested, doing the work that it requires, going above and beyond, scraping the bottom, doing the bare minimum. That's autopilot. All right, you're just there. You're just existing in the in the moment, existing in the area. That's not being a workman. That's being slothful. All right, and you can see the stark difference. If you're on autopilot while you're fishing, you know you throw the net out. Yeah, yeah. Now, what if you got a big catch and you're sitting here on autopilot? What you might get pulled in because you got to be fully prepared and aware. All right, you got to cast that net out, and once it comes in, you feel that tug. You gotta reel it in. All right, you're gonna lose fish. You got to be prepared for every situation. And it's the same on those highways. All right, you got to be prepared for every situation. Someone might come up with a question, and you got to be prepared to answer that question. You got to be prepared for whatever the speaker is speaking about to do what? To give precepts, to further the gospel, to further the conversation down the road. That's what we're here for. To be an able body. Being on autopilot is not an able body, but you can cultivate that by habit. Because at the end of the day, that's what cultivating is forming good habits. Or that's what you want to cultivate. You want to cultivate good habits opposed to cultivating bad habits. All right, this is Matthew 25 and 14. It says, "For the kingdom of heaven is as a man traveling into a far country, who called his own servants and delivered them unto his goods. And unto one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, and another 1. To every man according to his several ability, and straightway took his journey. Then he that received 5 talents went and traded with the same, and made them other 5 talents. And likewise, he that received 2 talents, he also gained other two. But he that received 1 went and digged in the earth, and hid his Lord's money. After a long time, the Lord of those servants cometh and reckoned with them. And so he that had received 5 talents came and brought other 5 talents, saying, Lord, thou hast delivered unto me 5 talents. Behold, I have gained beside them 5 talents more. So he gave him 5 talents, and he flipped it into 10. He went to work, okay, and he changed it. He increased what he was given, okay, not by being on autopilot. He cultivated an environment for himself to gain 5 more talents. All right, it says, verse 21, his Lord said unto him, Well done, thou good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of thy Lord. He also that had received 2 talents came and said, Lord, thou deliverest unto me 2 talents. Behold, I have gained 2 other talents beside them. His Lord said unto him, Well done, good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of thy Lord. Then he which had received 1 talent came and said, Lord, I knew thee that thou art a hard man, reaping where thou hast not sown, and gathering where thou hast not strawed. And I was afraid, and I went and hid thy talent in the earth. Lo, thou hast thy Slakia. Uh, there thou hast thy there thou hast that is thine. I'm sorry. Sorry. His Lord answered and said unto him, Thou wicked and slothful servant. There goes that word slothful. You know, that's the spirit. It says, Thou wicked and slothful servant. Thou knewest that I reap where I sowed, and not gather where I have not strawed. thou oughtest therefore have to put my money to the exchangers, and then at my coming I should have received my own money with usury. Right, so we have all these gifts. All right, we have the opportunity to serve the Most High Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. We have been called, so we have to flip these talents. Whatever your gift is, man, you better put it to use and put it to good use, because the Lord expects you to make good on His return. You can't be that same nigga that you was 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago, however many years. Maybe you're new. 2 weeks. You gotta grow. That's what it's about. It's about cultivating. It's about growing. Okay, let me go back to this this definition. All right, it says to frequent, to practice, to respect, to tend, to guard. Okay, so when you are cultivating an environment, all right, you want to practice your good habits every morning, noon, or night, whatever it is that you need to be successful. All right, if you need to be strict with yourself and write everything down, do it. Do whatever it is that you need. You know what's good for you. You know what's bad for you. All right, do what you need to do in order to cultivate an environment that's conducive for your growth. All right, so Lord's will, that was edifying. Let me see if this workman finally came. See, it didn't even come up yet. Yeah, that's some BS. But with that being said, Lord's will, you were edified, and I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai by Hashem Karkadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS. Salutes and honors to the elect, all the brothers across the four corners who are there in truth and sincerity, the women, the children, and confusion of faith who follow. Shalom.